The Tennessee Titans lost a winnable game versus the spoiler 49ers, 25-23. I'm extremely disappointed. It's a awful loss. It's a frustrating loss. It's a tear your heart out loss. I wish I didn't see it, but it did happen. And I'm going to talk about what I had for my game prediction, the cons and the pros. Start with my game prediction. I predicted the Titans would win a close game versus the 49ers, 24-20. Henry would run for over 116 yards, 2 touchdowns, and Mariota would throw for a touchdown pass. Mariota was better than what I predicted by 1 because he threw for 2 touchdown passes. I was wrong about Henry running for 116 yards and 2 touchdowns because he didn't run for over 116 yards, and he had 0 touchdowns, not 2 touchdowns. And I was also on the mark for the Titans for this being a close game, except the Titans lost 25-23, so that was in the ballpark. It was but the amount was 2 points less than what I predicted, but it was still in the ballpark because both of these teams were in the 20s. And start with the cons. Cons of this game: Titans defense in the first half, they weren't stopping the 49ers. The only time they were able to stop the 49ers is because they had no reason to move the ball and score points before halftime because they were leading 16-10. No logical reason to try and score points when they're already leading, so they just decided not to try and store points before the half since they already had a 6-point lead. So highly possible that the Titans just get a stop or more than one stop with the 49ers, and that's 3 points, or 7 points, 6 points, etc., that the 49ers don't get, which is major in a close game. Would have been highly beneficial for the Titans because this was a close game that was decided by 2 points. And then also other cons being also showing in the first half, there was Delaney Walker. He had a fumble, which was created by the 49ers defense, was able to create that fumble, able to recover. 49ers able to take offense able to take advantage and score 3 points. Now, highly possible that if that turnover doesn't happen, maybe the Titans score a touchdown, field goal. If not, then most likely, highly likely, possibly that's 3 points the 49ers don't score, which would have been major in a game that was decided by 2 points. And also, Walker also missed what was on the money for. He missed before the Titans got their first touchdown. The Titans had to settle for a field goal because Walker wasn't able to catch a ball, so the Titans had to settle for a field goal. So if Walker is able to catch that pass, that's 3 touchdowns for the Titans. That's 2 field goals. Highly possible the Titans win this game because the 49ers, with a 27, highly possible the Titans would have won this game because 49ers would have had to drive the ball far and would need a touchdown to win the game because the Titans are winning 27-22, and that would have been challenging. And then another con showing cons continue to get showed mainly in the second half, which was Jackson. He had a gift wrapped there was a gift wrap pass, and he wasn't able to finish the catch, which would have been a major INT in the end zone. That's 3 points the 49ers don't get, and possibly the Titans are able to take advantage with that momentum, maybe score a field goal or a touchdown, increase that lead. But even if not, eat up that clock, and that's 3 points the 49ers don't get. So that was major. That would prove to be a con, detrimental. And another con was Davis. On the Titans' final drive, he missed what was most close to a was a great pass. He had to catch the ball, and he didn't attempt to catch the ball at all, and there was nobody there, no 49er there to defend him, because the 49er defender was behind him by maybe 1 or 2 steps. So if he's able to catch that ball, then highly possible that the Titans are able to score a touchdown, or even if they don't score a touchdown with that with that catch, Titans have the ball deep in the 49ers territory. They're able to eat up clock, and then either score a touchdown or kick a game-winning field goal, and making it damn hard for the 49ers to move the ball and win the game. So that was a huge missed opportunity, a huge con. And then the last one being the worst is the Titans defense. Titans were leading 23 in the final minute, 23-22, and for the Titans to win this game and finally give Jimmy Garapollo his first loss as a NFL starting QB, Titans defense had to defend, and they weren't able to defend when needed most, including on this final possession by the 49ers, because it was no problem for the 49ers offense to move the ball, multiple big plays given up by the defense, and that proved to be detrimental. It was the perfect situation for the 49ers because they were eating up clock. They still had a timeout, or I think multiple timeouts, and they were able to use those timeouts and eat up the clock, and then kick the game-winning field goal with time expiring. So if the Titans defense is just able to defend on that final possession, whether create a fumble, sack Garapollo, or tackle, then the Titans win the game, win this winnable game, but they didn't, and that proved to be the biggest con of this game. The defense wasn't able to defend when needed most, and the defense was not able to defend when needed most, which proved to be detrimental in what was a close game that they lost 25-23. Pros of this game: the Titans improved from their last game where they only scored 7 points, because they scored 23 points in this game. So the offense wasn't anemic, and they proved valiant. They were able to come back because the 49ers led as much as 16-3. That was no problem because the Titans were able to move the ball and score a touchdown before halftime to decrease the lead to 16-10. Continue to have momentum. They were able to lead the game multiple times, including it was 20-16. So they were able to lead this game multiple times, and again able to score points in the second half. And Mariota, he played a great game because he had no turnovers, whether fumbles or interceptions, and there was no turnovers for the Titans. The Titans didn't turn the ball over at all in the second half after the 49ers created a fumble stripping the ball from Walker. So that was great. And the Titans, they were winning multiple times in this game. They had an opportunity to win this game because Mariota was able to move the ball and give the Titans an opportunity to win this game, including with that final possession, because Titans moved the ball, gave Suckup an opportunity to kick the game-winning field goal. He took advantage, kicked that field goal to give the Titans the lead, 23-22. So it's great that this was a game where the Titans, in the same situation as the previous game, they actually moved the ball, which they weren't able to do versus the Cardinals in their previous game. So that's a huge pro. And along with them scoring up to 23 points, it's a noticeable difference from single digits of 7 points. And they were able to be productive both in the first half and the second half as far as scoring points, because they scored 10 points in the first half and scored 13 points in the second half. So They weren't contained for either half. And another pro being the fact that the Titans defense, they were able to get stops. They were able to stop the 49ers offense in the second half, so that was major. Gave the Titans an opportunity to keep it a close game, for it to remain a close game and possibly win this game. And so those are all the pros. Still a heartbreaking, frustrating loss of the Titans losing a game that this is one of those games where there are games that a team loses they should win, and this was one of those games. It was a winnable game that the Titans should have won, but they didn't because the 49ers played better in a close game. And now Titans have now lost 2 games, both to NFC West teams, both were road games. And they both, I know the Cardinals had a losing record. Even after that win, they still had a losing record, and 49ers are going to finish with a losing record, so they're playing better with Garapollo, so why am I still optimistic that the Titans are going to make the playoffs, either winning the AFC South or as a wild card, is because the Titans' final 2 games are at home. They play 2 great teams, the Rams and the Jaguars, but Titans have won most of their games at home, so obviously that home field advantage has returned. In order for them to most likely miss the playoffs, they'd have to lose 2, and they play the Rams, and this is that game. There are games that an NFL team wins that they should lose, and the Titans did that last year when they defeated a great Chiefs team in Arrowhead, so I'm confident this can be that game of where the Titans defeat a team that they should lose to with the Rams at home, by defeating the Rams in Nashville. But if not, it's still possible that they could beat their division rival, the Jaguars, in Nashville, and that would be enough for the Titans to make the playoffs. That'd be enough for the Titans to make the playoffs, and then other teams that have to win 2 games to finish ahead of the Titans, and needing the Titans to win to lose 2 home games seems unlikely, because the Bills, they currently a wild card team. To remain a wild card team, they have to beat the Patriots on the road. Highly unlikely that's a long shot for that to happen. They also have to beat the Dolphins on the road, which is a toss-up game, but still going to be tough in Miami. So possibly they win a game versus the Dolphins, but it's a long shot that they're going to beat the Patriots in New England. There's also the Chargers. They got cooled off by the Chiefs, and they play the Jets. They also play the Raiders. Maybe they win one of those games, but playing a spoiler Jets team, playing a Raiders team, division game, it seems going to be hard that they win both of those games. But even if they do, maybe the Titans still have a better conference, or it's some tiebreaker. Most likely the Ravens are going to win their final 2 games, and so the Titans mainly have to worry about, but it's still within the Titans, and their final game is against the Jaguars, and maybe they might be resting their starters because they have no advantage in that game as far as playing, because their seat is locked up. But even if that seat isn't locked up, it's still a home game for the Titans, and they're playing a division game, which is winnable. So even if they don't beat the Rams, still decent chance to beat the Jaguars at home, and they've already proven they've already steamrolled the Jaguars earlier in Jacksonville. Obviously, they're playing better than they were then, but it's still a possibility that Titans still have a favorable chance to actually win that game and finish either with a 10-6 record, or even if they lose to the Rams, finish with a 9-7 record, which would be enough to get into the playoffs. So Titans have, it's challenging for them to win both games, but win one game, that's manageable because the Jaguars don't, mainly because the Jaguars are, maybe they won't be using their starters, but even if they are using their starters, it's still manageable for the Titans to actually win at home versus the Jaguars. And so that's exactly why I believe the Titans are still going to be able to make the playoffs. It's either as a wild card or winning the AFC South. Now, winning the AFC South is going to be still challenging, mainly because they have to win their final two games, beating the Rams and the Jaguars, and they also need the 49ers to need the 49ers in Santa Clara, California, which is at home game for the 49ers, to beat the Jaguars, which I'm confident they can do because Jimmy Garapollo has proven he's a talented, maybe great QB, if not still decent QB. Gives his team the best chance to win, so it wouldn't surprise me if the 49ers are able to continue this win streak with Garapollo and defeat the Jaguars, and the Jaguars lose to a spoiler team again on the road because already lost to the Cardinals, and no doubt 49ers are going to be a tough team to beat in Santa Clara with Garapollo starting. That gives them the best chance to win, so that's why I'm still optimistic that the Titans can make the playoffs either as a wild card or winning the AFC South. It's going to be damn interesting to watch NFL Week 16 with the Titans, the Chargers, the Ravens, and the Bills, along with Week 17, which possibly could be a game where both the Jaguars and Titans are playing that determines who wins the AFC South. So it's not a dull NFL season on the AFC side.